Math Cats presents Converting Radicals to Rational Exponents. Have fun!
Today's math joke of the day is, why was the math book so depressed? Because it had so many problems.
About radicals and rational exponents. So right here we have a problem which is the cube root of k to the 5th power. And beforehand you would have answered it like this, which is, sorry I'm messy at this. Okay, so it would be written k and then the cube root of k to the 2nd. But that's not very usable for bigger and longer equations, or more complex equations. So we will be learning how to turn them into this. K to the power of 5 over 3. And so all of these right here are equal. They all have the exact same answer. Okay, so here's our next problem. The square root of x to the 3rd, e to the 5th, and y to the 9th. So the first step you would do to solve this problem would be to add the 2 there. Right on the square root, add the 2 so you know what you're going to be dividing your number by. Second, you will then take those numbers and add all those numbers and add a 2 underneath, so it will look more like this. And that line there has no relevance, that's just my cursor. So your turn. Okay, so here's our next problem. The quad root of a to the 2nd, b to the 3rd, and c to the 4th. So I'm going to give you 15 seconds to try this problem, and that's going to start now. Okay, so what did you get? You should have gotten this right here. If you didn't, well, let's go over it. So first, you'll take the 4, wrong color, take the 4, and you will add that underneath each number. So now it will look like that. So now you can get rid of this. Imagine that's not there now. Sorry, this is messy. And you will take that. But you can simplify this further. So you can get a over 1/2, b 3/4, and then just c. So there you go. That's how I got a to 1/2, b to 3/4, and c. Up next, we will be trying how to do a square root, cube root, some sort of root with numbers in there. So you would start by putting it in parentheses, 7x, and then you will do the same trick that you would do beforehand. So you take the square root, and then, in this case the cube root, and then you divide it by the power. So now it would equal 7x to the 2nd, to 2/3. So now that you have a better understanding of what we're doing, how about you try this problem? It's a little bit more complicated, but I'm sure you can do it. Okay, so now you should have gotten, now let's see what you got versus what you should have gotten. So let's start out by taking our square root, or cube root, or 5th root in this case, not 3, and dividing all of our, or making all of our powers into fractions. So there we go. So now we will have A to the second, to 2/5. That's terrible. Let me try this again. A to 2/5. B to 3/5. C to 4/5. D. And then E to 6/5. But in this case, you can, well, in this case you will just leave it as 6/5, I believe.